Hello, thanks for tuning in to Al's Airguns. It's December 2023, right before Christmas, and I was thinking about gifts for Airgunners, and something that I've received over the years and appreciated greatly are things to read. One of the sources I've enjoyed and talked about in other videos is the Blue Book of Airguns. This is an annual publication, and in addition to serving as price guide and historical reference for different types of airguns from pretty much all of the manufacturers. It also has articles and beautiful color illustrations that you're not going to find other places. Teaches things about judging condition, goes through air pistols, for instance, and talks about the difference between a 90% condition, 80% condition, all the way down the line. And that can help a great deal in terms of expectations, particularly if we're buying an air gun online and it says it's a 50% condition. Well, what exactly should we expect when that arrives? So a lot of really good information in these. Different articles appear in each edition every year, so it's not a bad idea to collect them. They are not very expensive. I will go ahead and look up a price and include that for your consideration. The other thing, and this book may sound a little strange in the beginning as far as being something for airgunners, but Practical Guide to Man-Powered Bullets by Richard Middleton. And Middleton covers catapults, his English, which here in America we call those slingshots, but slingshots, crossbows, blowguns, bullet bows, which we now have on Amazon and different places, these slingshot rifles. Well, they're really a reinvention of the old bullet bow. They're just throwing a stone in a manner that's more consistent with a crossbow than a traditional slingshot. And air guns. Now, part of why I recommend this is it gets into some of the theories and maths involved in man-powered bullets. And when we're talking about air guns, be they a spring gun, a pneumatic, any one of those things, we're really talking about the conversion of energy from one form to another. We're either pumping air into a chamber and then releasing it to drive a projectile, or we are compressing a spring that's going to be released and in turn, send a projectile down a barrel. In doing this, there are certain, physics formulas that come into play on these, and it really is a treatise on momentum and also velocity and energy. So anyway, there's a lot of general theory here, but as we get further into the airgun section of the book, Chapter 7 starts with low pressure airgun, the theory, and goes through just some experiments that have been done over the years, some things, practical experiments he's done and you can replicate, also tables that show acceleration over the inches of barrel for different pressures of air behind it. So, it gives us the theoreticals in terms of building low pressure air guns, and then goes into a great deal of practical application about it too. After the low pressure section, he goes on and talks about high pressure air guns. Now, some of the things that we're talking about, and Richard starts to cover a lot of the technology employed in the commercial air guns on the market today. And, one of the quotes I've marked here years ago, most commercially available pump-up pneumatics has a reservoir of about a fifth of a cubic inch. A 20-inch barrel of a 177 bore contains a half a cubic inch of air, while a 22 barrel contains 3/4 of an inch of air. The volume of the air is around 2.5 to 4 times that of the reservoir. And then he takes you through the math and examples where we understand that, for instance, I had a gentleman the other day that was trying to tell me because he had vastly ported the valve on a Crossman airgun that it was just going to produce astronomical muzzle velocity and energy. And, these things aren't true. We're constricted by physics that have to do with, if we've got this much pressure in a vessel this small and we release that into something 2.5 times its size, how will that pressure dissipate as it moves forward? So these are some of the theories that Richard discusses, and then also goes ahead and examines some of the popular commercial systems that are being employed in the air guns of today, from a knock-open exhaust valve to things that will look very familiar to people that have opened up Crossman, pump-up pneumatics, and those kind of things. And then some also theoretical valve designs that have really moved forward a great deal since the time that this book was written. So anyway, if you're interested in air guns, if you're interested in modifying air guns or designing them, it's an amazing text. I don't know anything that has been published to date that provides the kind of information it does to this niche area of interest. So I think both of these would make a excellent Christmas gift for oneself or to put in front of one's spouse if you're an avid air gunner. I think they're both things that if you like to read and delve a little deeper into the topic, can be a really rewarding experience there. So anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in. That's my bell, so I got to go, and talk to you on the next one.